The accusation came between the turkey and dessert, which somehow made it worse. One minute everyone was laughing, the next minute my brother was calling me a thief. My name is Tyler, I'm 36 years old. And my older brother Ethan spent most of his life being the family favorite. Not because he was smarter, not because he worked harder, because he was charismatic. People liked Ethan. Teachers liked Ethan, neighbors liked Ethan, relatives loved Ethan, and whenever something went wrong, someone else usually took the blame. Most of the time that someone was me. Growing up I hated it, later I got used to it, eventually I stopped caring. At least I thought I did. Then Thanksgiving happened. Every year our parents hosted dinner, same house, same relatives, same traditions. This year felt different from the beginning. Ethan arrived driving a brand new Mercedes, expensive watch, designer suit, perfect smile. The whole thing felt rehearsed, like he wanted everyone to notice. And they did, especially the watch. A stainless steel Rolex Daytona worth roughly $45,000. Ethan mentioned that fact repeatedly, too repeatedly. At one point he even removed it and passed it around the table. Everyone admired it, everyone except me. I honestly couldn't have cared less. That apparently became important later. Dinner went smoothly until dessert. That's when Ethan suddenly stood up. His expression changed, the smile disappeared, then he said, "Has anyone seen my watch?" The room immediately grew quiet. People started looking around, checking chairs, tables, countertops, nothing. Then Ethan looked directly at me and said, "Tyler, do you have something you want to tell us?" I laughed, wrong move, because he wasn't joking, not even slightly. The room went silent, my mother looked confused, my father looked uncomfortable. Then Ethan spoke again. "You were the last person holding it." Technically true, the watch had passed through 15 people, I happened to be the last before Ethan put it away. Or supposedly put it away. Suddenly everyone was staring at me and I realized something. Ethan had planned this, I just didn't know why. 3 months earlier, 3 months before Thanksgiving, our grandfather died. He wasn't wealthy by billionaire standards. But he was comfortable, very comfortable. The estate included investment accounts, commercial property, cash reserves, family trust. For years everyone assumed Ethan would control everything, including Ethan. Then Grandpa surprised us. The trust went to me. Not because I was smarter, not because I was more successful, because I was the only grandchild who regularly visited him. According to Grandpa, Tyler showed up when there was nothing to gain. Ethan never forgave that decision. Now Thanksgiving made much more sense. Back at the dinner table, Ethan stood, arms folded, confident, certain. Then he said, "Let's make this easy. Just give it back." The accusation hit harder than I expected, not because I feared being caught. Because I realized how many people believed him immediately, even before evidence existed. My mother quietly asked, "Tyler?" That hurt more than Ethan's accusations because it meant she wasn't sure. Then the front door opened, and everything changed. A man entered carrying a small black case. Detective Mark Sullivan, a family friend. My father had invited him earlier for dessert. Bad timing for Ethan. Excellent timing for me. The detective listened for 2 minutes, then asked one simple question. "When exactly did you notice the watch missing?" Ethan answered immediately, too quickly, almost rehearsed. The detective nodded, then asked another question. "Have you checked your safe?" Silence. Ethan froze, the room froze with him. Apparently nobody knew Ethan owned a biometric safe hidden in his home office, except the detective. Because Ethan had spent the previous month bragging about it, the detective smiled, then asked, "Would you mind opening it?" For the first time all night, Ethan looked nervous. Very nervous. 30 minutes later we were standing in his office. The safe opened, and there it was, the Rolex, exactly where Ethan had placed it himself. The room went completely silent. Then something unexpected happened. The detective found something else. Several envelopes, documents, financial statements, past due notices, debt records, a lot of debt records, far more than anyone expected. Suddenly the expensive car made sense. The expensive watch made sense. The designer clothes made sense. They weren't signs of success. They were signs of desperation. For years, Ethan had been living a life he couldn't afford. Then Grandpa left control of the trust to me, and Ethan panicked. Because if the family started viewing me differently, his entire identity changed. The accusation wasn't about a watch, it was about attention, control, status. For the first time in his life, Ethan wasn't the golden child, and he couldn't handle it. The next morning he called, not to apologize at first. Instead he tried explaining, then justifying, then blaming stress. Finally, after nearly 20 minutes, he stopped talking and quietly said, "I messed up." Understatement of the century. Months later, things improved, slowly, awkwardly. Trust didn't return overnight. Some relatives never looked at Ethan the same way again. Honestly, neither did I. The following Thanksgiving, Ethan arrived early. No luxury watch, no expensive suit, no performance, just Ethan. As dinner started, he pulled me aside, then handed me a small box. Inside was Grandpa's old pocket watch, the one Grandpa carried for nearly 40 years. I looked up, confused. Ethan smiled, a real smile this time. Then he said, "Grandpa would have wanted you to have it." For a second, I didn't know what to say. Then I realized something. The Rolex was never the most valuable watch in the family. And neither of us had understood that until it was almost too late.